Hello, yet another session of AfriMoms. And you know what? We are doing digital age conversations. We are talking about cybersecurity. If you've been worried about your details and everything, your children being on games on the laptop, worry no more. Because today I've got a lady who is an expert in this industry. Summer Gombi is my name, and I'm your host for AfriMoms. And AfriMoms is a channel for African mompreneurs who are doing business, who have said, you know what, enough is enough. We're not asking from the husband. We're doing this. We're creating a legacy for our children. Okay, and if you want to be featured, my details are down below. Click the link and let's make an appointment. Anywhere in Africa, if you're doing a business, let's get you on board and let's get talking to you. Today, I've got a special guest, a lady who has walked the journey in business with me, who is, yo, guys, she's my pillar. Welcome, Edith. How are you doing?
Hi, Samu. Hello, everybody. So glad to be here.
You know what? We are really partners. We're really sisters. Look at us wearing the same color.
Oh, yeah. I actually hadn't realized that. Twinsies.
Oh my word. No, Edith, take it away. Please let us know, who are you? Where are you? So that people can get to understand why I'm excited about you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm joining you all from Zimbabwe, Harare specifically. And what I do, my background is in law. And I also worked for the Broadcasting Services regulator in Zimbabwe for 5 years. So when my contract ended, I started weighing my options, and I realized that when I was in the regulatory body, we looked at a lot of things to do with how the internet was being used, rather how people were broadcasting. At that time, there was a difference between broadcasting and telecommunications, but along the way, they became converged. And it became apparent that with this new convergence, people could freely broadcast. It was no longer something that required a lot of money and a lot of tools and inputs. And so that's made it so much easier, more convenient, and more accessible to the wider audience. But for me personally, at the same time, I had children who had just started doing ICT at school, in primary school. And when we would talk at the end of the day about how their day was, they would tell me about how they were using their computers. And I was really fascinated because this new revolution was just a lot of stuff that I had never, ever had the opportunity to experience when I was in school. So I would probe and ask a lot of questions about how they were doing it and what they were accessing. And because they were young, probably at that time, they just didn't realize the enormity of the things that they were exposed to. They would tell me, like, they have access to people from all over. They can connect with anybody, they can get any kind of information. And I kind of panicked as a mom to say, oh my God, what are my children going to be exposed to, considering the way that we were trying to raise them and the values that we had as a family. But also as a lawyer, I was worried because I had been following these trends of the convergence of technologies and seeing the possible dangers that could be there. Not at that point, I was just looking at the consumer, not necessarily the kids. But when my children started being part of this revolution, I then had the maternal instinct and then the legal side of me feeling that I had to do something. So I started this platform, which I call Digital Age Conversations. And because it was inspired by my children, I started having those conversations with the children in my kids' primary school. And it was more like a fact-finding mission when it started, just to know how they're using their technologies, what they're exposed to, who they're connecting with, and how their parents are involved in all of that. And through the years, I've been doing this for 8 years going on to 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
I found consistently, even until now, that parents were the missing link. So as in 2019, just before COVID hit, I started having sessions with the parents as well, just to inform them of all the things that I've been learning over the years, and also the strategies that I, as an expert in the area, felt they should be becoming aware of and also implementing in their homes. And then as we transition into the COVID era, I started the Violet Room community, which is specifically for moms, because I realized a lot of moms experienced a lot of overwhelm during that time. They were working from home. Those with businesses were running their businesses from home. They also had to help their children with the virtual learning and take care of all the other responsibilities that they already had.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Violet Room community is, it is exclusively for moms, and it is designed to assist moms to be able to efficiently run their businesses. It also equips them with skills of how to run online businesses, and looking at the legal side of things, as well as the digital opportunities that are available. And then it also gives them that chance to be able to do all this while raising cyber smart children. So we've got a lot of different programs that ensures that we empower the mom on the career and the business side, and we also support them and empower them on the parenting, digital parenting side, so that you don't have to choose between your family or your children and your business or your career. We try to make sure that we blend it and integrate everything in there so that it all works well together. And on the side of digital age conversations, we've evolved to now cater for businesses as well, where we look into the issues of cybersecurity, digital wealth, digital health, I beg your pardon, as well as building your assets and protecting your assets in the digital world, among other things. And we also support the women in those organizations with issues to do with online sexual harassment, digital wellness and well-being, and their own safety and security as well. So in a long, this is who I am and what I'm doing.
Wow, what an introduction, guys. Listen to this woman. She's going on, and she's giving me all these big words about cybersecurity, cyber smart children, digital. Guys, listen, I think we're in for a ride today. We're going to understand what is all this. Wow, I like that. I like that. So tell me, what did you need to have for you to start this business, for you to start the digital age conversations? What are the things that you needed to be in place for you to get your business going? You say that you've been running for 8 years now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I started, I actually did not have any resources. Okay. Speaking of money and financial inputs, there was hardly anything, because when it started, I hadn't actually formulated it as a business. It was more like a community service. So it's something that I would do free of charge. And because the schools that I was working with were close to my home, it wasn't an issue for me. Sometimes even during school run, I would go and do a session and then pick up the kids and take them home. But as time progressed, and as I started working with more and more schools and more people outside my area, I had to now consider my transport costs and also the time factor, because some of them required me to travel. So I then had to now find ways of also getting money out of that. So how I did it was to get low cost attendance fees for people. Okay. And if I was working with an organization, they would also then take care of my fuel costs. And as time progressed, and as I also started working with people even outside Zimbabwe, I needed to have a functioning laptop. I needed to have consistent Wi-Fi and backup for electricity and all that. So those are some of the inputs that came in with the extension of the work.
Oh, wow.
And then,
okay.
But most of the work I did from my phone, because
Wow.
yes,
okay.
just from my phone, because I had my data and I had everything, all the platforms that I needed, like the apps that I used were mostly on my phone anyway. So
yeah,
that was the biggest tool I can say that for my email, for designing my posters, for coming up with my templates for my checklists, my workbooks, all those things. I just used my phone mostly for most of those. And recording, my voice recordings, my video recordings, I would use my phone mostly.
Your phone. Okay. Okay. So when someone is looking, maybe one mom is looking and saying, wow, I'm interested in what she does. I mean, how does one get into your space? How does one get into this business? You know, I'm looking and saying, okay, do I need to study something for me to get into the type of business that you're doing?
Well, I wouldn't say you need, for me, it was mostly just the passion. So from that passion, I would do the research. And now with this advantage of having the information at our fingertips, I could do my research from where I was. So I think it's about knowing what area you really want to focus in on, and then doing the necessary research. You'll find there are even some online programs that come free of charge. I've done some with Google. I've done some programs with the International Telecoms Union. And I've attended a lot of seminars and workshops from all over the world on the topics that I am interested in. But it's not just about what I'm getting, it's also what I give. So even in those sessions that I did free of charge in the churches, in the schools, in the community, that's where I also got to learn more, because there was a need to get more out of what my audience needs. So if somebody wants to get into the same space, I would say, do your homework, find your own area that you're really, really passionate about. Like I said, I had a background in broadcasting and in compliance with how the service providers, how they provide the services. So my interest was always to look at, are they giving the consumer the desired service? Are they going to make sure that the safety precautions are in place? Is there somewhere where a person can report if something is off and so on? So that was my target area. So what I would do is just go on to Google and then search for the things that are of interest. And so many things would come up, free resources, free information, some would be paid. And I did have to invest in some programs to make sure that I also had extra information. I had to buy some books that also speak on those areas that I am interested in. And I also had to invest in some coaches and mentors who are also in that area. I got to receive support in cybersecurity, for instance, from some phenomenal world leaders in that area. So what I would say is the first thing is just to know what you want to do. And then from there, it's a step at a time to get the knowledge, to get the resources, and then the expertise comes with time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so some of the services that you are offering now, because now you talked about the parents, and you talked about the children, and now you've got the organizations that you are dealing with. So what are those services that you're offering to this group of people?
Okay, I offer the trainings, workshops, webinars, and then we've got the courses. I've got courses for parents, the Digital Parenting Success Formula program. And then I've got programs for the educators, because I feel that we can't leave out any part of that stakeholder community in a child's life. So there are educators. I do trainings and workshops as well for them. And then for the children, I've got those sessions that I host every year, as well as frequent programs on different areas, because a lot of things come up. Like last year, look, I'm already in 2022. This year, this year we were talking about gaming a lot, because more and more children are becoming involved in gaming. In previous years, we've also talked about pornography, talked about digital assets, because a lot of the young people are creating content that they can monetize. So we get into a lot of different areas that we talk to the kids about. And then when it comes to the corporates, digital well-being is the main focus, and also the issue of their intellectual property, protecting intellectual property online, as well as how they can also interact with their consumers and their clients online in a way that is ethical and productive, as well as responsible to the community. Remember, a few years back when we had the Industrial Revolution, there was a threat to the environment. Now, and companies had to be held to account to make sure that they were taking care of the environment and people wouldn't be affected. So it's the same thing that I focus on in the digital world now with the digital revolution, that companies have to be held to account and that they have to be responsible to ensure that their products and services are not going to be harmful, especially to children and young people. So I train them as well on those aspects, and we also get to just go deeper into their policies and the legal frameworks that they have. That applies to schools as well. We look into their curriculum and into their policies. So yeah, there's quite a lot.
Wow, you are a woman of many talents.
Yeah, we also have books, books that we do, from mini books to a little more voluminous books, and a lot of other resources that we just churn out to parents, to the schools, the churches, and then to the kids themselves and to the different organizations that we work with. So most of the stuff that we do is actually tailor-made to suit the particular client's needs, and we do a whole proposal before we even start to say what services. But broadly, it's mostly training, consultancy, the courses, and the learning materials.
Wow, wow. If you're catching us right now, we are talking about digital age conversations. You know, we are in the digital space, and your children, oh my God, with me, I'm a mom. So I worry about my children, what is it that they're watching, their games, and there's roadblocks these days. And my son yesterday was speaking to his cousin who's in Australia, and you're saying, give me your face or something like that for roadblocks. And I'm thinking, what? And you know when you're listening, but you're not listening.
Yeah, that's the new reality, eh?
And these are 9-year-olds, eh? These are 9-year-olds, and they're already talking. I'm like, wow, when I was 9, I was playing with the mud outside.
You know, climbing trees. I've got a 4-year-old. Now she knows the YouTube icon. So she'll take my phone, go to YouTube, and download things there. She'll go and look for games and she'll download. So this is what, and you know, this one has not even been to school yet. So everything is self-taught, and it's like they're born with these little prompts that they know. I remember when we were growing up, you'd get something like, you'd get a phone, not even a phone, what were those things that we played with called? The Game Boys.
Yes, those things.
Yes, and you would use a manual to figure out how it works.
Exactly.
And it could take you a whole day just to read through the manual before you started using it. These ones, you just give them a gadget and they're already on it.
Just,
And
my
they'll actually
5-year-old
tell you,
comes, Mommy, can I use your phone?
and they will tell you what features are on your phone.
Yeah, that's it. Your sis, it's something else. Women, ladies, please let's connect with Edith, because Edith is helping us with how we can be smart parents as well. I mean, because our kids are already cyber smart. So it is time that we also now become smart in dealing with them. But Edith, tell me, like, I've got 3 children in my home, my 5 and 9 and almost 11-year-old. How do I watch over them? Like, what do I need to do? I'm sitting here, I'm a mom and I'm at home. What do I need to do for them? Like, what would your advice be?
You mean in terms of their use of the internet?
Yes.
Well, there are a lot of parental controls and things that we can use on the technical side. But throughout the work that I've done and what I've observed is that if a child does not have a strong foundation, no matter what kind of parental controls you have, no matter how sophisticated they are, the heart and the mind of the child, if they have not been guarded and they have not been prepared, there is still work to do. So my biggest advice is that we start from the child's heart and mind, and we teach them resilience. Because when they go online, they're going to encounter so many things that will affect their mental well-being, that will affect even how they perceive themselves, their self-confidence and their self-esteem. They'll compare themselves to other people. They'll need validation. So we need to look at those aspects of the human nature elements, and how we as parents can really reinforce into our children that as you are okay, as you have value, you are important, and most of all, you are loved. So we walk them through that journey. And if you haven't given your children a device yet, that is even better. You walk them through how the internet world works, how the digital world works, and give them age-appropriate warnings about things that they will be exposed to. And then at the point where you are ready to let them have a device, even if it's a shared device or it's your device that they have access to. Because I think a lot of mistakes that the parents make is they think if a child is sharing a device or if they're using your device, then they won't get up to any funny business. But they are so sophisticated, they can actually find ways of concealing the activities that they're doing online. So when they now have that access, walk with them, make sure that you find time to use whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, whatever they're doing online, especially Google, because when you go onto Google, sometimes you say girl with red socks, and you don't just get a girl with red socks.
Yes.
Things that can shock you and overwhelm you. So you need to walk with them through that and make sure that they know that there are also things that can pop up that are unexpected. In our day, when you would go looking for schoolwork in a book, when you're trying to do your research in a book, you wouldn't get anything other than the information that's in the book. But now when your child is innocently looking for information, it is highly likely that they will come across other things as well. Even when they are playing those games, they will experience other things outside what they were looking for. So you have to really prepare their mindset and make sure that they understand what it is they're getting into. And if you as a parent feel like they're not ready, then by all means exercise your parental rights and duties to make sure that you hold off giving that access and that open the freedom, some will say, to just scroll without the proper support. And
wow.
Another thing is build trust, ensure that they can come to you for anything at any time. I've been blessed that a lot of the things that I have got to discover about the digital world and how young people are using the internet has come from my own children, even up to now. The ones that I was referring to when they were in primary school, now they are 17 and 16 years old. And you know, that's a difficult age because they start to hide things. But they still come and they'll still tell me, oh, look, mom, look at this. And if they see something shocking, they'll even share. If they see something disturbing, they'll share. But it's not all the time, but at least I feel that comfort that they feel comfortable doing it. So that's what I would
come to you
as well. That build that environment where they can come to you, they can talk to you and let you know that this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm afraid of doing, or whatever it is, they should be able to come freely to you. So those are the two things that I would say: build resilience and prepare their hearts and their minds so that when they get into it, they've got a strong foundation. It's not going to be foolproof and perfect, but it's better than just letting them go out there without anything to prepare.
That's true. That's true. Wow. You know,
sorry, Sam, you had asked about like right now, for you now.
Yeah.
What you can then also do is every now and again as a family, talk about things that are happening in the digital age. For example, if there are things to do with cybersecurity, a lot of people have lost money through spamming and these online criminals. So you can talk to your kids even about those kind of things. When something pops up in your mind or in the news or during conversations, but consistently have those conversations with them so that at the back of their mind, they are aware of what's actually happening in the real world. So that it's not just mom being hovering and telling them what to do. And also explore the good side of the internet with them so that they can focus more on the things that bring value and things that are productive.
Wow. You know what? One thing that I am liking and which resonates with me is being intentional, being there with your children. It's not just about you saying, no, don't take the phone or don't use this or whatever, or locking, putting passwords and what, but it's getting to the child, to have a relationship with your child and establish that trust. Because once you do establish that trust, it's easy, like your children come to you and show you that, you know, mom, this is what is happening. So us as parents, most of the time, we're quick to just give the child the gadget because you want to keep them quiet. But what is it that they are looking there? Are you being there? Are you being present? For me, it's being present with your children. Anyway, we can talk and talk. Edith, how do you market your business? I mean, what are some of the marketing strategies that you use to grow your business?
I think the biggest marketing strategy for me has been giving my services for free.
Okay.
I've found that.
How do you make profit when you give them for free? No.
What I mean is that it's selling without selling, actually, because there are places that I can't reach in terms of marketing myself. But if I have somebody like, if I got into your space, into your community, and you were hosting something, a workshop or something, and I came as a speaker, then the people in your community will know about me and what I'm doing, right? So from that, I've actually received a lot of referrals, a lot of clients as well, who will say to me after the sessions, you know, I need to hear more about what you were talking about. I need help, extra help beyond what you were sharing. How can we work together? And it happens all the time, all the
Oh,
time.
wow.
I walk away with something.
Oh my God, ladies, do you hear that? Sometimes you have to offer your services for free so that you can get the exposure. It's about the exposure. Right now, I'm speaking to Edith, and you are getting nuggets. You are getting all this information. Contact her. Details down below. I'll leave all the details for Edith. Connect with her. She's in our group. Get into our group. She's there. She talks about all this. We enjoy her talks. So it's also up to you now to get in and get to understand and get to ask her questions for free. My last question to you, Edith. What do you know now that you wish you had learned before?
I wish I had learned that I have everything that I need. You know, when I started my business, I was afraid to venture into certain things because I kept telling myself, I don't have the money, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the resources, I don't know people. And yet I had people in my network, my family, my friends, the people that I go to church with. So as I've seen the growth of my business, just from starting from with what I have, where I was, I now see that if I'd started earlier, I could be much further.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. That's also what I would share with other women who are starting their business or thinking about starting a business, that you actually have the resources to start. I'm not saying you're going to be a multi-billion brand, but what you need to do is you start small and you grow. Yeah. But the sooner you start, the better. It means your growth happens sooner. So yeah, just start with the resources, the tools that you have. Another thing about marketing that I do is a lot of it, I do it on my WhatsApp and my Facebook and Instagram, as well as word of mouth through the same people that I was talking about earlier, my family, my friends, and my community. So that's what I would say to you as well, that believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, and start. Just keep going, no matter what the challenges can be, what the hurdles can be, keep going.
Awesome, awesome. It's been lovely. It's been great having you. Where can people reach you? People who want to get in touch with you, your social media, your websites, where can people get you?
They can get me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And that's at Edith Utete. My handle is Edith Utete on all those platforms. And then on Facebook, I've got Facebook groups for digital age conversations and the Violet Room. So they can get me, if you just search for those, you can get me there. You can also reach me on my email, which is edithutete@gmail.com.
Okay.
And my website, edithutete.com, is still under construction, but just
2022.
Yes, watch this space.
2022. Oh my God, it's been such a wonderful time. I'm loving all these big words, ladies. You know what? All these big words mean something. So get in touch with Edith. Get in touch with me if you can find Edith. I'll I'll connect you guys. And you know what? This cyber space is a space that we cannot avoid anymore. And it is a space that for us moms, you're like you're holding your heart and wondering what your children are doing. And Edith is here to make the work very easy for us. So please connect with Edith, because she's dived deeper into it. 8 years, guys. All this information and everything, and she will help you as a parent. She will help you as a school, as an organization, how you can protect your digital assets. This is the lady to get in touch with. Edith, I'm excited. about what you did, about what you're doing, about where you're going. Thank you so much for coming on the AfriMoms platform.
Thank you, Samu. Thank you so much. It's been such an honor and a privilege. I wish you all the best with AfriMoms. This is such wonderful work that you're doing.
You are so welcome. Guys, we are done for today. We are going to see you on the next episode. I wonder which country I'm going to. I am going to these different countries virtually, guys. And it's exciting. So get in touch with us. This is Samugumbi, the mompreneur. Smiling is always my trademark. Bye, guys.